Hello, welcome. My name is Adam. Welcome to this video all about flight simulation and talking honestly to the developers of Flight Simulator, the developers who create the add-ons for the Flight Simulator. This is almost not a begging video, but please guys, please listen to this video, okay? I've talked to numerous people in the community as well, and a lot of people are in agreement, but you may not like what you hear in this video. And I know I'm going to get a lot of developer hate from this video probably, which will be witnessed in the comments down below. But I feel that this needs to be said to keep this community clean and to keep it devoid of frustration, anger, hatred, okay, which is kind of building within the community at the moment. And I think it's almost a sense of panic from you developers as well, and it's all because of Microsoft, okay? I know you're probably laughing right now going, we got nothing to worry about, dude, okay? But let's all go back, okay? So this year Microsoft announced that they are releasing a new flight simulator next year in 2020, and we know that no developers were spoken to, no third-party manufacturer of add-ons were even considered, as they showed their surprise when it was announced in the E3, G3, whatever you could, game convention, earlier this year. And before Microsoft even sort of announced that we're coming back, in the community, developers for flight simulation, developers like these companies, now I'm not pointing fingers at any one of these companies, these are just an example of the brand names within the flight simulator community. I'm not saying that these guys are the ones responsible, okay? But these are an example of who develops for third-party add-ons for flight simulation. And they'd probably release like one a year, maybe 2 or 3 a year. Like going back over the past 5 years, looking at their release slate, it was between 1 and 3 products a year. Some releasing every 3rd year. Some developers really building a hype for one particular add-on, and then that releasing, and then nothing for a few years. But giving support for that add-on. And to be honest, I don't really remember having to update earlier add-ons. Like, if I go back 3 years and I have an add-on, it pretty much remained like that until a major update. And then it was like, guys, there's a new installer, delete the old one, put this one in, it's an update, it's free. But now it's changed, I feel that the flight simulator community and the way we handle our flight sim has changed massively, mostly due to Microsoft though. They own the hardware, and now they're bringing out a new sim, so most likely a lot of people are going to gravitate towards that, so they're going to own the software effectively as well. So our whole simming experience will change in the future, and I feel it has changed in the last 8 months, So yeah, going back 3 to 5 years, developers releasing add-ons were very infrequent, and the update system, like patches for that product, very rarely happened, or it happened, but it wasn't like as soon as they've released it, there's a patch now for it. As soon as like 3 weeks have gone by, there's an update for it. By the way, guys, it's a month later and now there's a hotfix. That's the kind of world we live in, If I take my time flight simming, I would say 25% of it is spent updating add-ons themselves. And there's a new patch for it, there's a new hotfix for it, and I've got to go to where I bought it, and I've got to download it, reinstall it. Usually means uninstalling the original and reinstalling this one. Sometimes it's just a quick fix, a patch on, and it's like it happens nearly on every product I buy. Orbex have sort of future-proofed themselves by saying, listen, we've got this app guys that's going to do all that little updating for you. You won't have to worry about it. You know, you can even say don't update it, and you can choose to update it. It's really, really good. They've really refined it. I mean, it's had like 23 updates itself, which, you know, is exactly what we're talking about. But it is a real good in terms of I don't have to worry about updates now from the Orbex apps. They will update themselves. I don't have to worry. But it's all the other ones. You know, it is really becoming like a new update now. I only bought it last week, but new update now, and it's kind of Microsoft's fault again because Microsoft in terms of the Windows operating system, you know, it's getting updates, and my laptop now, I've got to restart this now because it's due an update. And the you know, the Windows operating system is updating every week for me. I have to update my PC constantly through not only the graphics card updates, but the Windows PC itself updates. And it's like when a Windows or a graphics card update happens, it changes my sim. It makes it either a little bit stuttery or really smooth, and it's like a gamble every time I update, and it's becoming a real problem. And it's the same with add-ons. We're getting this many add-on updates, and it's like, my gosh. Now, developers, really, please, before you release a product, you know, make sure you do all your testing. Okay, I know it's going to be impossible because you're working on like the current version of Windows operating system build, you know, 1911 or whatever it is, and then suddenly there's like 2 more before you release your product. You then have to update your product to be compatible with that current one and all previous ones, and then a couple of weeks later there's another Windows update, and now you've kind of got to fiddle with your add-on in order to make it compatible. I totally understand, but there's got to be a better way around this. Like, can we not have like Orbex have done, a single app location that will then go through and update everything? But can we not have one for the community? Can we not have one where it's like it's a app like Flight Sim app, and it updates all your add-ons? You don't have to worry about it. You know, it will sort everything out. Can we not all get together and work on some sort of hub that will do this for us all? Because it's really, as a consumer, it's really frustrating with all the add-on updates. Now, that's not what I really wanted to talk about with this video. Okay, the real thing was I feel that there's a sense of panic with developers. I feel that they're all rushing their releases out, and they're not finished. That when they release them, there's like an update, nothing to do with Windows, but because they've rushed to get it out, you know. And again, pointing a finger at Microsoft, not in a negative way, but because of now that they're releasing a new sim, I feel loads of developers are going quick. Oh my gosh, there's going to be this shift from our current sim we're working on, P3D or X-Plane or FSX, and they're all going to update to the new sim because it's all less stress, less hassle. You know, there's no updates aren't really going to have to. They're going to have to worry about that because they don't really have to use add-ons because it looks good out of the box. You know, but there will be add-ons, so which means there will be updates. And it's like I feel that the developers are panicking a little bit and getting out their products as fast as possible before next year's sim comes out. Because when next year's sim comes out, who really is going to stay with FSX? Like, I'm already looking at thinking on deleting FSX off my PC now, and I don't use X-Plane, but P3D. I'm like, if you know, if the release is as good as the Tech Alpha, then why would I use P3D again? Like, I've invested so much money into it, but really, if Microsoft can do better than what P3D can currently do now, why would I stay with P3D? Just eating up space on my computer that I could dedicate to Microsoft. So I feel that people who are interested in having a flight simulator that runs smooth and accurate will go to Microsoft and utilize their flight sim and almost leave behind the current flight sim they're using. And developers, I just feel, are rushing out their add-ons to try and get them out so quickly. And so they've got you know, they can stay alive, you know, for those who haven't third partied with Microsoft, who haven't had that partnership, you know, I feel like they're just getting their add-ons out so fast and they're rushing them out. And it's like, dudes, please, you know, test them first, make sure they work before you release them, you know. And I know there's still going to be updates, but I feel like a lot of these are getting rushed out. You know, I mean, let's go back to last year when nobody knew anything about Microsoft Flight Sim. Nobody, not even the third-party developers knew. We'd have like, you know, now Orbex is kind of an exclusion because they were making a move to X-Plane anyway before Microsoft announced, and so they had a massive library for P3D and FSX that they're slowly shifting over to X-Plane, and so their release schedule sort of upped anyway. But it's even up to even more now. It's like every single week there is a new add-on from Orbex, whereas before, even before they shifted to X-Plane properly, we probably had 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 a year, you know, from Orbex, and it was like it was something to build up to. And looking at it from a consumer point of view, the money side of it was manageable, you know, and it was fine. And then okay, so now they're shifting to X-Plane and they're bringing more X-Plane content out, which kind of, I think a lot of P3D people were going, are you completely deserting P3D? But it's like, no, we're just shifting our existing products to X-Plane. So it does look like we're supporting X-Plane more, but that's because we've got so much support already for P3D. Okay, so it's like we're not dropping anybody, we're just spreading out a little bit more. And so even taking away that, the fact that they are now shifting X-Plane products over, there's still so many more P3D version releases coming out. You know, I think 2 in the last month, you know, alone, you know, and it's like usually before all that you would have maybe 2 in the last 6 months, you know. And I feel it's because there's a panic. I feel like it's because there's a panic of like, we've got like a list of 20 items that we have slated for the next 2 or 3 years to release, but my gosh, who's gonna buy this in 2 years time when Microsoft are killing it with their new sim? Quick, we need to release it before, you know, May of next year. Let's get it out quick now. Quick, just finish it off, get it out. And it's like, I don't know. And plus, from our point of view, the consumer, you know, we've only got so much money to spend. We haven't got an infinite amount. And it's like all these great airports or airplanes or sceneries are flying out. And we're like, I want that, I want that, I want that. But I can only afford so much in my wallet, you know what I mean? For flight simulation, because at the end of the day, it's a hobby, not a way of life. Although, for a lot of simmers, it's a way of life, passion-wise, you know? And it's like our money is not infinite, guys. So we have to pick and choose carefully. Now, of course, there is the dodgy route. You know, there is always the pirates, who will find a way to hack that program, who find a way to hack that add-on and then spread it around to everyone else. And then that really upsets the status quo because now developers lose money on it. They haven't got as much money to pump into the next product, you know. Piracy really does kill flight simulation community, but then it's kind of like, well, the simmers just want the product, just want the add-on, and if they can't afford it but they really want it, temptation to go, guys, you can have it for free, you know. It's like I'm sure to a lot of people, and that's probably why we see a lot of people going to Twitch to you know, beg for money, basically ask for donations to get add-ons because they want the add-on, you know, they don't want to pirate it. So like those that do donations on Twitch obviously do not pirate software, because otherwise why ask for money? You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel that the massive shift, because Microsoft is coming out, it's like developers are rushing out their add-ons and they just need to slow down. Because at the end of the day, not everybody will make that move to Microsoft. I've spoken to plenty of people that have said, yeah, I'm not going away from P3D. I've invested thousands, so I'm not making a move to Microsoft. I'm sticking with P3D. And a lot of people have gone, I'm an X-Plane whore only, and that's who I will be for the rest of my life. I'm loyal to X-Plane. and still there is still people loyal to FSX. You like is still of one of still the biggest platforms going. It's still got a huge base, even though a lot of developers now have abandoned FSX and said we're no longer supporting our products for FSX because we want to make them better for the 64-bit, architecture. There's still a massive base for it, and people will be like, "No, I'm staying with FSX. That's who I am with, and I'm staying with them regardless." And that's cool. That's fine. But I feel that there are still plenty of people to support the current Sims, to where the developers can just slow their release schedule down a little bit, not trying to be so greedy to get it all out before Microsoft comes and wipes over like a tsunami, But it's like, have faith in your community, guys. Stop trying to just grab as much as you can, and really test your products. I mean, really put it out to the community to test as well, because PhotoSim Labs is a perfect example. Okay, that's been in development so long that it must be perfected to perfection, right? It must run really smooth if it's been in development for that long a period. And to be honest, it does run smooth. The Bahamas scenery that he's released, it runs really smooth, but it's so detailed. It's more detailed than a lot of other scenery add-ons I've seen. Okay, it hasn't got animated people in it or anything like that, but there's so much foliage, so much buildings that have been put into that scenery in the small scenery space that he's got. He's put loads in, and it runs really smooth. And that's because it's had so much beta testing, so much behind the scenes testing, and it wasn't rushed out. Okay, a lot of people have been waiting years for this product, and now it's finally here, and it's really good. I really recommend going to get it, guys. But it's from a person. It's his very first add-on he's ever released, and it's worth getting, guys. Trust me, really trust me. Go get it. It's worth getting it, and there's going to be more. So, and I feel it's really late in the game to be starting out scenery building for current simulations, because Microsoft's going to come along and have a more realistic scenery than whatever you've just released. So it's like, it's really too late to be releasing stuff now. But you know what, guys? There's plenty of community for everybody. If the developers can just really get a good product out, take care and great detail and attention to it, and not rush it out to try and get everything out before Microsoft comes along, I really think the community would be a lot better off. And financially, we would be able to afford your products, rather than those people that do go and pirate software. Which, do you know what? I don't even know if the piracy still happens. Like, I'm pretty sure it does somewhere, but like, I don't know. I mean, I've never spoken to anybody who's actually pirated or admitted to pirating software. I don't know, but so I don't even know if it still happens. Actually, I mean, actually, can it happen? Like Orbex, I don't think you could pirate their current software because it's all done through that app. And I'm sure if you put in software that you haven't bought, it's gonna go, "Whoa, dude, you ain't paid for this, mate. No, delete, bye. You haven't paid for it." It's like there's no way you can really get Orbex into your sim without having to purchase it first, because of the way they've designed their system. Other ones where it's just, you can just put the files in, that's easy. But anybody who's got like an installer with serial keys, well, that's actually hackable. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, so really, developers, please, I'm begging, okay, really just slow down on your release schedules. Don't worry, and just concentrate on giving a good product that's finished as much as you can, rather than just releasing as much as you can. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I know this has been way too long, 20 minutes, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the virtual skies. Bye bye.